try to record this too. So the way it works is there are a couple of things. Let's see. Okay, so we have the chapters
Mm-hmm.
of the book. It's called yeah, I'll just write the name. Charles
Mm.
Monte. So this is the name of the book. It has many chapters, right? So we're currently on like chapter 25, right?
Okay.
So chapter 25. And this has been treated in an academic style. So the naming of, if you see this, for instance, I'll use 21, chapter 23, lesson 12. What this means is, for instance, I have 21, chapter uh, chapter 23, lesson 17.
Okay.
So what this means usually is, if you look at the submission tracker here, you
Mm.
see lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So this is lesson of the year, right? So
Oh,
the
I
first
see.
number is lesson of the year.
Okay.
And inside, you call it the fake lesson. This is the lesson number relative to the chapter. So
Okay.
there are two numbers here. The first one, so in this case, this 21 is the academic year
Mm.
numbering. Uh, and the so you have the chapter of the book numbering, in this case 23, and then you have the numbering, the chapter numbering, basically. The lesson numbering relative to the book.
Mm.
So that's how we number it. Like the first one is the lesson of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, you can see 1 all the way to 30. And if I
Mm-hmm.
go a year back, you also see the same. So you can see. So here, for instance, you see between this row, let me try to.
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see that this was lesson 4, chapter 22, lesson 42. So
Mm-hmm.
this 42 was the last class of this chapter. And the next in the chapter lesson 5 of the year, which was just 1 week after, we have
Mm-hmm.
moved on to lesson 1. So that's the
Okay.
difference.
Okay. Okay. So it can be
Yeah,
automated. Okay, that's fine. So
yeah.
that makes that makes it basically it can be automated. So I understand that. Okay, cool.
Yes, it can be automated. Yes, it
Okay,
can be.
right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The
Um,
important thing is just knowing that, okay, so these are information, like I said, most likely you find it in a transcript. So the goal
mm,
is kind of like to extract those information.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So we're going to be hosting this, right? So the hosting, is it mostly, is that going to be front end or is just back end APIs and things like that?
Yeah. Another good question. Thank you. So this is going to be a full stack
Okay.
application.
Okay.
So we are going to have the front end hosted, we're going to have the back end hosted,
Mm,
and yeah, and then we have the database that the platform is going to rely on, basically.
okay.
And besides this, we just have the few um, APIs, the APIs for the transcripts, in this case, Grok and Gemini. So these are the dependencies. And the other dependency here is Hugging Face, um, where we are going to put the model as we are training them. So to give you an example, so some of the work that has been done in the past is this is a data set I
Mm,
created. This is the earliest version of the data set I've created.
mm, mm,
So you can see I'm just creating a pairing of input output. So this
mm,
is what I get from the transcript,
mm,
and this is what I want the AI to generate. So I'm using
mm,
this to train the AI. So the
mm,
first version I did as um, so this is the second one. The first one has only, oh, go back. So this one has over 3,000 rows. This is
mm,
the low quality one. The one I created by hand is this
mm,
one. It has only 45 rows. So
mm,
I carefully selected it, and then I gave ChatGPT back then to help me expand on it and
mm,
created something I could not use because I did not trust what it gave me. But
mm,
anyway, based on the data set, I trained this model. This is T5. Um it's a transformer based model. It's an early version of like SLMs, I would say.
mm,
But this is not, I mean, some people are using it, alhamdulillah, but this
mm,
is not going to work for us. So this is basically like I was describing earlier about SLMs that,
mm,
oh, this has improved because there's been gradual progress over time. That
mm,
from, because when I trained T5, SLMs were just maybe only few. They were less than 10, I think, back then.
mm,
So they were not a lot. Even they were a lot, they were not that good. But now
mm,
SLMs have gotten very good that I think with high quality data sets, we can get high quality performance. So yeah, so some work has been done on the transliteration part, both in creating data sets and also fine-tuning models. So the data set that we're going to be creating will be published on Hugging Face. So that's only going to be the other dependencies. So yeah, so to answer your question, this is
mm,
going to be a full stack application. So my goal with this is that ideally I want everything on Cloudflare mostly for cost, but also with security.
mm.
But I'm leaving the option open to self-host any part of this, basically. Yeah.
Nice. So, quick question: the front end, the HTML, CSS, and other parts. Where would that be hosted? Would that also be hosted on Cloudflare, or is it going to be hosted separately and then it talks to another
No,
server
that, that
hosted on
that's
Cloudflare?
what the full stack is. The front
Okay.
end part, back end, database, everything on Cloudflare.
Oh,
Um,
no, 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 no,
yeah.
no, 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 no. I think you're misunderstanding me. You said that what full stack is. Yes, that is correct. But I'm saying that you could have the front end hosted somewhere and have the back end hosted somewhere else. And then the communication is happening between the front end on one server and the back end. So I just want to know if everything was being hosted on one server, or you could have the front end hosted somewhere and the back end hosted somewhere, and then you just communicate, right? But never mind, that's
Yeah.
just by the way. Never mind. It's not I was just curious to know if um
Yeah, the architecture itself, but basically that's how it's going to be. That so Cloudflare has what they call Cloudflare workers.
mm,
It is basically a kind of lightweight like
mm,
server, you could
mm,
say.
mm.
So the goal is just like you have front end on a worker, back
Okay.
end on a worker, the AI part on another Cloudflare worker, talking to
Okay.
each other, basically.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that's kind of
Makes
like the
sense.
idea. So the options is
Okay.
that I either use workers for it or I just self-host it. But for now, I
Okay.
would I would I would be using Cloudflare workers for a
Nice.
start.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you say it costs only $20 per month to host on Cloudflare.
Um, it's like currently like $5 per month.
Oh, nice.
There's an additional cost for security and things like that, but
Okay.
it's pretty cost effective for a start.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Last question. Any?
Anybody else has a question?
So just to show, I'm going to share. So if you've put your GitHub handle in the group, so this project structure right now is I have this audio part. This one is for the audio part. Yeah, I'll go into this, next time. This is, and for the transliterate, just some of the works that's been done so far. Um, I can show you. So I was talking about some of the knowledge I've gotten from Mesa. So this is, for instance, uh, from feedback and training material, we've been able to collect a lot of materials. So you can see something like this. So these are part of the correction. I'm still going to validate this with her. Our role in this is very important because LLM hallucinate. So she's going to help me refine and correct some of these things.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, this is part of the work here. And I think one last part is, yeah, so far I've created a couple of what I'm calling golden data sets.
nice.
So you can see I have the input. So this is basically an improved version of what I have on Hugging Face. I've just not published this. But
Okay.
basically, what this allows me to do is, okay, let me go back. So I have the input, I have the output, but this is richer. I have a
Mm,
category here, transliteration.
Mm.
And using AI, I've been able to extract the rules. So for instance, here you can see like this is a rule. All of this based on, like I said, Mesa's feedback and training materials that I'm able to categorize it this way. So this is very rich. That's one of the things you can think of if you're